Right now at 5, Missouri overdose numbers are down. What current methods are making an impact?
We got a bit of a cool start out there. We have rain on the way as we head into the afternoon. We'll go over those details with you coming up.
Plus, we'll have a few tips to help with childcare for this coming Christmas break.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is now Friday,
Certainly
the 13th.
Is. Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, this did not occur to me until yesterday when I was at home and I was looking at something on the calendar to check something. I'm like, oh.
I didn't even realize it till you said it.
Yeah.
It's spooky.
A little bit. And in December, though, I wonder what a Friday the 13th in December is. Is that the time of the Yule Cat?
What?
The Yule Cat. I'm going to have to do a whole thing on the Yule Cat. All right, I'm going to have to do a whole thing. And Krampus. Yeah, Tennyson just mentioned the Krampus. Maybe that's what happens on Friday the 13th in December. All right, thankfully, if we take a look outside, you will not, hopefully, see the Krampus or any Yule Cats. And don't worry, stray cats are not Yule Cats. A Yule Cat is a very specific thing. And when I learned about it several years ago, I was blown away. As to what it is. And I'll tell you all about it later. Right now, though, we're going to get you out the door. We've got cloudy skies, and we got cloudy skies from the MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. It's dark outside. You can't see it too well on the cameras, but I assure you, it is cloudy, and it will be that way through the entire day. We do have the opportunity for some showers. And Future Track's got them coming in maybe even as early as 10, but I think our better chances for a few isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, is going to be into the afternoon. Now, initially with this, it is very isolated to widely scattered at best. It won't be until overnight tonight that we see those rain chances start to increase for us. It's cold this morning, 36 in Joplin, 30 in Pittsburgh right now. That warm front retreated a little further south. Remember yesterday we talked about it, and by 5, we had it about here by Lamar, Pittsburgh. It came a little further south, so we do have some 20s out there. Then you get much further south of the warm front. We have some low 40s, and we have that breeze to contend with. So wind chill's not a major issue into Oklahoma, but up north, feels like 19, Yates Center, Fort Scott, 15 in Iola. So again, it feels cold out there. Kids getting on the bus this morning. 44 for most of us, unless you're north of that warm front, then you're going to be in the 30s. South breeze 5 to 10. Winds will pick up again out of the south, gusting upwards of 30. And we'll have an opportunity for a few showers, about 55 when that bus brings them home. So again, afternoon, we're going to start to have at least some isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. We should make about the mid-50s. And then thanks to the clouds and the rain and the winds, temperatures will actually level off for several hours. So it'll be a little bit more mild tonight as those other storms roll through. We'll talk about these thunderstorm chances, Sunday's rain chances, and how much longer the warm weather holds on here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Overdose drug deaths across Missouri have dropped by 23% in 1 year. According to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, in the Southwest region alone, the number of deaths fell from 130 to just 100. Medical professionals attribute the decrease to improved education efforts and the wider availability of a life-saving overdose reversal drug called Narcan. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has more.
Unfortunately, I came from a long line of alcoholics, so I had that addiction piece in my biology.
Teddy Steen is the executive director of Recovery Outreach Community Center in Joplin, also known as ROC. Steen says the addiction was so bad it stuck to her like glue.
In violent relationships with men and just I could not go. I mean, I was under the influence at all times of my life.
Cherie Beebe is the manager of ROC. Like many teens, she started out with marijuana, but with both parents dead at 16, pain and hardship found their way right in the center of her life. Her drug of choice, methamphetamine.
So throughout my process of using meth, it kind of consumed my life. I went through losing my kids. I've been to prison 3 times.
After all these felonies, Beebe said the judge was fed up. That's when she gave her an ultimatum.
The judge was like, you've been catching felonies since 2011. We'll offer you treatment court or prison. So of course I'm like, I'll take treatment court.
Both BB and Steen are now on the upside of life, and so is Missouri when it comes to overdose deaths. Dr. Allison Smith says partial credit goes to the drug Narcan.
Getting Narcan in people's hands has been pivotal. So it can reverse death by getting people breathing again.
Health officials are very thankful for the decline in deaths due to Narcan. They said the best way to keep things down and contained is through education.
My hope is that we just have continued education because education reduces stigma. And
both BB and Steen have words of encouragement for those still struggling with addiction.
It's okay to ask for help. It's okay. I had to ask for help at the very beginning, and look where I am now.
They have so much to bring to the world if they would only let that go.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, while they decreased 33% statewide, opioids were still present in 65% of overdose deaths this past year. Well, Freeman in Joplin reveals the hospital has made a major change to its mammography services after concerns about quality. Mammography services at the Freeman Women's Pavilion in Joplin have been temporarily stopped since November 7th. After a KOAM inquiry, Freeman sent a statement that says why. Freeman says the move follows concerns raised by the American College of Radiology about the quality of Freeman's mammography services. The organization says the images have failed to meet the ACR's clinical image quality standards as required by the Food and Drug Administration. And the ACR says those images had been substandard since September 13th of 2022. In a statement from Freeman Health System, the provider says, quote, "We have already started revitalizing our protocols, enhancing staff training, and working closely with the manufacturers of our 3D mammography units to calibrate our equipment. We have also established a devoted call line and email assistive service to address patient and provider questions," end quote. Now, in the meantime, breast care and mammography services are being redirected to the Freeman Neosho Hospital Women's Pavilion. In winter break, the roughly 2-week period when schools are out of session, is something kids typically celebrate, but their parents, maybe not so much, especially when working parents have to find childcare options for that time. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more.
Hoping my mom can help out some, but I'd say it's probably mostly me and my wife handling it.
With holiday break right around the corner, many families are thinking about what they'll be doing for childcare.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I guess I'll just watch my kid.
But for some parents, there just doesn't seem to be that many options.
Honestly, I am still kind of working on it, but hopefully I can find some, nice hospitable people that are willing to, take in my kids while working. If not, then I'm just going to have to take a nice week off of work, I suppose, or a couple weeks, depending on, my situation, how it goes and such. Not exactly sure yet, though.
Many parents rely on local programs to help fill that gap. Places like the YMCA often offer a winter camp, and many Boys and Girls programs offer an option for families already enlisted. The Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri's Christmas break program is already full, with 225 kids signed up. Other programs say they expect to fill their rosters as well.
Christmas is our biggest one throughout the entire year, other than summer camp. And we typically sell out.
Camp Now and Then is hosted by the Pittsburgh Parks and Rec Department. Parents can sign up their child for $20 a day for a full host of activities, from play to arts and crafts.
Our whole goal is to keep them active, so they're not just couch potatoes, but we continue to learn socially with other kids because it's ages 5 through 12, so they're getting lots of different grades in there and from different schools too.
Those in charge of childcare programs say it's important families start thinking about their options now before it's too late to sign up and the spots are all filled.
Figure out your holiday plans, figure out what's going on, and if you need childcare, sign up.
But both parents and program organizers say there needs to be more options available for working families.
We do have to work, unfortunately, and the kids have got to go somewhere.
I honestly do think there needs to be a little bit more easy and accessible ways to be able to take care of the kids during the holiday break, hopefully.
Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
You can find a list of some local programming options for overwinter break on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Some big news for high school football fans as 2 area coaches have been selected to participate in this year's Kansas Shrine Bowl. Plus, Ukrainian President Zelensky makes a visit to the front lines in honor of Ukrainian Ground Forces Day. And Chris will have a full look at your weekend forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, 78th Annual Carthage Boys Basketball Invitational tipped off yesterday. Several of our local teams had the chance to face schools from neighboring states that they typically wouldn't play against. First game of the season for the Webb City Cardinals as they face Fort Smith Southside. Trey Turner scores the first points of the season. He's going to get the steal and the slam dunk. Going the other way, that fires up the crowd in the gym. Cardinals up 2-0. A little later in the first, with the game tied at 3, a quick pass to Turner, who finds Holton Keith for the layup. Keith led the team in scoring with a game-high 19 points. Still in the first, we get another dose of Trey Turner as he climbs the ladder again and throws it down. He had 15 points on the night. Webb City went into halftime trailing by 7, but the Cardinals would wipe away a double-digit deficit. Fourth quarter here, Holton Keith misses the 3, but Eli Pace is there with the rebound and putback. About 2 minutes left in the game. Cardinals are down by 2. Trey Turner knocks down a clutch three-pointer from the wing, and that gives Webb City the lead. Cardinals come back to win their first game of the year, beating Fort Smith Southside 55-52. The hosts of the tournament, the Carthage Tigers, on their home floor facing the Leavenworth Pioneers. Tigers start red hot. Landon Ray hits the three-point shot. Then the Carthage defense starts to press, and they force a turnover, and Ray gets the rebound and puts back after the missed layup. It's quickly 5-0 Carthage. The offense continues to stay hot in the first half. Trent Yates sets up Dylan Pugh. That's nothing but net from beyond the arc. Pugh finished the game scoring 13 points. Tigers led by 18 at halftime. To the second half, and Tigers show no signs of slowing down. Yates to Pugh in the corner. He knocks down the 3-ball. Then later on the fast break, Taylor Stevens digs, goes hard into the paint, count the bucket and the foul. Tigers get the job done, beating Leavenworth 68-35. They will advance to the semifinals round in the winners bracket. The 52nd edition of the Kansas Shrine Bowl will take place in June of 2025 in Dodge City, Kansas, featuring some of the best high school football players from across the state. Coaches selected to participate in the game have been revealed. 2 of our local coaches from Southeast Kansas were selected to the Shrine Bowl coaching staff. Chanute head coach Cleet Frazzle is chosen to represent Class 4A. He helped lead the Blue Comets to a 6-2 regular season record and a trip to sectionals. And Humboldt head coach Logan Wyrick will represent Class 2A for the East. Cubs went undefeated in the 2024 regular season and also made it to sectionals. Both Frazzle and Wyrick will be assistant coaches for the Shrine Bowl game. We'll later find out the players that will be participating in that game on January the 1st. Last night's Thursday Night Football had the Rams and 49ers playing for a shot at first place in the NFC West. Low-scoring contest last night. Rams improved to 8-6 on the year after a 12-6 victory over the San Francisco 49ers. Well, still to come, if you want to enjoy your holiday break more, the tip may be to lower your expectations. We'll have those details. Plus, got another check of the forecast and those rain chances when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We're just a few seconds. Is that okay? Elise was making faces with the coffee. Apparently it wasn't very good. She's not sure. Okay. That didn't look good. It didn't look good. Well, we've got some rain, and that is good because we need some rain. Now, Future Track's got it here by noon. Even earlier runs were showing it maybe as early as 10, but I think our better chances for isolated to widely scattered showers will be into the afternoon. But you can see there's not really a lot out there as we head through the daytime hours today. It will be overnight tonight that we'll start to see slightly more organized shower and thunderstorm activity roll in. Now, I do want to remind everyone, no severe weather is expected. And the other important thing of note is thanks to the clouds, the gusty south winds, temperatures level off just enough that anything we get that falls from the sky will be rain. It will not be snow, it will not be sleet, it will not be any of that business. It will all be rain. We'll stay warm enough for rainy weather. By 5 a.m., still dealing with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Those will continue to push through. By 9, they start to kind of come to an end, and I think by about noon, we are done with showers and storms tomorrow. Still have those gusty winds out there, mostly cloudy skies for our Saturday. It won't be until the late evening and overnight hours that we'll start to see some gradual clearing take place. It'll be a little chilly tomorrow night because we're going to have a few more, we'll have a few less clouds, and that will allow us to get a little colder. We go into Sunday, though, still warm. In fact, Sunday looking to be warmer than tomorrow even. We're going to spend the day partly to mostly cloudy. Clouds will start to increase in the evening. We have more rain chances, but they won't come until very late Sunday into early Monday morning with some additional scattered showers and thunderstorms. Quick check of temperatures. We are sitting at 36 in Joplin. Feels like 32, and that's with an east breeze at about 5 miles an hour. So that warm front, we talked about it earlier, originally on the Future Track data, it was going to retreat maybe as far south as Lamar to Chanute, but it came a little further south than that. So we've got 30 in Pittsburgh. We got cold temperatures on the north side of the warm front into the 20s and low 30s. You get south of that, we're getting mid upper 30s and still even some low 40s out there. Now through the day, that warm front will retreat back north. Now, of course, north of it with the breeze, feels like it's 13 in Iola, 19 Yates Center, 18 in Fort Scott. And again, get a little further south, the breeze not as big of an issue in terms of those wind chills out there. The warm front, again, will retreat north as we go through today. We'll have cloudy skies through the morning, mid-40s to start, low 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. We're looking at highs about the mid-50s, and again, afternoon, so we should start to see at least a few opportunities for some scattered or isolated showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. South winds gusting to 30. Overnight tonight, south winds continue to gust upwards of 30. That's what I mean. With the clouds and that south wind, temperatures really start to just level out, and they'll eventually fall back into the upper 40s. As we go overnight tonight. Tomorrow, we're looking around 60 out there, still breezy, low 60s by Sunday, upper 50s, some low 60s Monday at those morning showers. We'll have that cold front, so it still looks like it's going to show up Tuesday, but it's going to maybe show up later in the day Tuesday. So we'll have some rain chances, and then temperatures plummet into the 20s overnight, and we'll stay pretty chilly, but seasonably chilly as we head through next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Well, new research shows more cardio fitness is linked to healthier brains for aging seniors. No exercising on the treadmill, elliptical, or exercise bike are all activities associated with increased cognitive performance. Researchers looked at about 650 seniors from 65 to 80 years old. Now, the link between fitness and good brain health was greater in women compared to men. Researchers credit the link between the two to greater blood flow, new connections in the brain, and enhanced chemical systems. Cardio fitness is also associated with better moods, low fatigue, and improved sleep. The findings were published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine. While it's normal to want the holidays to be perfect, setting your expectations too high could put a damper on the festivities. So instead of worrying about having everything in order, psychologists share how setting realistic goals and going with the flow can keep you merry and bright this season. Chanley Painter takes a closer look.
It's the season of giving, but it's also a time for desire, as many folks dot the I's and cross the T's on their holiday wish list.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
But between the stress of picking out presents for your loved ones and hoping you get exactly what you asked for, psychology experts say you can create more joy by setting low expectations for yourself and others.
There's a saying that the key to happiness is low expectations, and that's particularly true for the holidays.
Setting the bar low doesn't just apply to gifting, because lots of parties are typically the norm for this season. Those hosting the festivities can face enormous pressures.
Hosting can be incredibly stressful for all of us, again, but ways to prepare and reduce stress for hosting would be to adjust your own expectations for what hosting involves.
Dr. Heather Lynch says it all starts with accepting that no one can be perfect. So instead of trying to make everything splendid,
the idea is to identify what your top priority is for hosting. So maybe it's that everyone walks away remembering a wonderful time singing carols with the family. If that's your top priority, then you want to devote your time and your energy while you're hosting and preparing to host towards that goal. And maybe it matters less if maybe there's a dirty dish in the sink.
But while it's impossible to avoid every stress, Dr. Lynch says to know what triggered you from past holidays so you can make plans to avoid it this year.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a chilly start to the day out there for many of us. Rain chances increasing later tonight, though. Look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, a Crawford County farmer is using new technology in hopes to provide a better product.
We've got cloudy skies out there, slight breeze, chilly temperatures, and then rain on the way. We'll look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Less Watered Gardens in Joplin held its annual Christmas market in hopes to help area families this holiday season.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Friday, December the 13th.
Might get a visit from like the ghost of Christmas past or something.
Yeah, or the Yule Cat.
Okay, you keep saying it. I know nothing.
Okay, so the Yule Cat, and this is basic. Okay, you can get more information on the internet because that's what it's there for.
Yes.
But the Yule Cat goes around and, if I'm not mistaken, eats people who are not dressed well for Christmas.
Oh, well, what's going on with weather?
You better dress nice for Christmas. Or the Yule Cat
nice for Christmas.
will come and get you.
Never heard of that in my life. Oh
I found out about it a few years ago, actually here on the KOAM Morning News one day, and there we are. Let's talk about what's going on outside. Thankfully, there are no Yule Cats on our Pittsburgh camera, downtown Pittsburgh. At least I don't see any, so that's good. And it should remain that way. But it is cloudy out there. Quick look, MoDOT camera, 20th and range line in Joplin. It is also cloudy. Now, of course, it's dark, a little difficult to see, but I can assure you it is cloudy. I try and make those observations when I'm driving into the station in the morning. I'm not driving distracted, like when I stop and get gas or a soda or something. I make observations, so I know, because sometimes it can be tough to see for sure. By noon, we're looking at isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. We're talking pretty low chances as we go through the daytime hours today for rain. It won't be until overnight tonight that we really start to see those chances increase for a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms. It will be breezy. It will be somewhat mild. It'll definitely be above normal, and it will be cloudy through the day. 36 in Joplin. That's 30 in Pittsburgh, and here's why. That warm front came a little further south than what we were expecting it to yesterday. I mean, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it should have been here, and it's like here. But that does make a bigger difference. That leaves a larger portion of the northern half of our area that's cold this morning, into the 20s. And then you go down into the southern half of our area, we're in the 40s. And then, of course, you get the wind chill factored in there. Feels like 13 Iola, 18 Fort Scott, 19 in Yates Center. So we've got cold wind chills up north, down to the south. It's chilly, but not as cold as it feels right now in our northern counties. Kids get on the bus this morning. Cloudy skies, south breeze 5 to 10. Mid-40s, unless you're north of this front, you'll be into the 30s. By this afternoon, though, that warm front retreats north. We're warmer, a few scattered showers, south winds gusting to 30 and about 55 when that bus comes and brings those kids back. Shower chances, slight ones at least into the afternoon and evening hours, and our highs today right around the mid-50s. And as I mentioned, the rain chances increase overnight tonight. We have another round of rain Sunday night. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. With the harvest season in the rearview mirror, farmers across our area now look towards the next season. Now, some of them are adding new innovations to their fields to help produce better quality crops and higher yields. And one farmer in Crawford County tells us how he's combining two different types of technology to boost productivity.
I was always wanting to irrigate and grow a really good corn crop, and so I had the opportunity when my son bought this property here with the big pond. We decided that we would go ahead and try to put in an irrigation system.
Irrigation saves a lot of water, and you can get every acre of the field. We can do it in hilly ground where pivots can't run. We can do it on about any piece of ground, and it just saves a lot of water.
Well, the irrigation will increase the yield substantially. And I said, I've lived through years when I was farming, I lived through years when it was dry and we just didn't raise a crop. And so this will, it'll guarantee at least a decent crop.
Generally, we're in the $2,500 to $3,000 per acre.
I do think it'll be well worth it to increase the corn yield. And the solar system, that with the REAP grant that we qualified for, pays for half of the solar system. So that was icing on the cake. We wanted to get it done as soon as we can so that then we'll get the solar system put up when we get done here with the irrigation, and then hopefully by May we'll be ready to start irrigating corn. I've got 3 grandsons, and they're the future, and I feel good about leaving something for them that they can benefit from, from now on.
Now, Rick says he doesn't know of anyone else in the area combining subsurface irrigation with solar power, which would make this farm one of a kind. Well, U.S. Cellular makes a donation of music equipment in Pittsburgh yesterday. Now, the gear, which is a gift to the Josiah Fletcher Foundation to support using music and community service to uplift and empower individuals in Southeast Kansas. Now, among the donations, woodwind cleaning kits, drum kits, and a marching bag for clothing and other items.
We have a lot of cleaning kits. We have some patches for the letter jackets that the kids can get from band, and they can receive the patches so that even if you're not going to the same school, you can still have the same patch. It's going to offer another sense of almost brotherhood in the community, kind of, like not necessarily brotherhood, but something similar.
Josiah's sister says Josiah was a lifelong music lover and musician. She says he used music to improve the lives of others. The Josiah Fletcher Foundation continues that legacy. And it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas at Joplin's Watered Gardens Ministries. The organization provided its annual Christmas market. The program provides a variety of toys, games, clothing, and stocking stuffers, all donated by the community. Now, rather than a price, items are given a timestamp. The amount of time for parents to partner in the Worth Shop is earned the gifts they choose. Now, the idea is to provide hope and dignity for parents and families.
Are working, but they struggle. Maybe there's more month at the end of the money. And rather than just have someone come and give them gifts for their kids, they can come here and shop for the gifts, partner to earn them. We help wrap them, and then they can head up, and just is a great way to make sure that they get to take care of Christmas for their family.
Watered Gardens has provided this program for years. This is the first time it's been at Joplin First Church. For some people, it's just not Christmas without a real tree. Now, Nick Kelly spoke to an expert on just what to do, what to look out for, and how to care for a real Christmas tree.
For many, Christmas isn't the same without picking out and decorating a tree. While some favor artificial trees, others can't resist the allure of taking home a real tree.
This is something that you can invest in, and actually you can plant it in your yard after you're done using it for your celebration to kind of remind you of past Christmases.
Those who choose live trees must know how to care for it. First, bring the tree inside an unheated garage, porch, or shed so it can get used to indoor temperatures. Second, place your tree in a large bucket so enough water can keep the root ball or the bottom of the tree moist. Also, make sure the tree is set up in a safe place away from sources of heat.
If first by chance that the tree does dry out, that can become fire hazardous and things like that. Also, the closer the heat source it is, the faster that the water evaporates out of that root mass or tree.
Plus, don't keep a live tree indoors for more than 7 to 10 days. That short time span means people are now flocking to area tree lots, tree farms, and nurseries to get certain varieties of evergreens to spruce up their home for the Christmas holiday. After the holiday's done, those trees will still be put to good use. While some may recycle the trees, others will plant them as soon as the ground warms up enough for digging. After the tree goes in, experts say watering and mulching are key.
Mulching would be beneficial to the trees. We also provide the products here that wouldn't be necessary for root growth, such as like a root stimulator and fertilizing tabs.
All these steps can go a long way to keep your new tree going through the holiday and to help create new holiday memories.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A Florida barber shows no signs of slowing down as he approaches his 93rd birthday. Plus, Syrians around the world are working hard to locate loved ones that were lost to the Assad regime. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky visits troops to mark Ukrainian Ground Forces Day. Now, Zelensky visited soldiers from the 27th Rocket Artillery Brigade in Zaporizhia yesterday. Now, he presented the war heroes with awards and thanked them for their service to the country. Zelensky's presidential office said that this brigade was the first in Ukraine to receive high-mobility artillery rocket systems, which now provide support for the defense of the Zaporizhia and Donetsk regions. Now, the Ukrainian leader also visited an underground frontline surgical unit, which provides urgent care to wounded soldiers. And Pope Francis hosts Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas at the Vatican, where they discussed the crisis in the Middle East. The pontiff welcomed Abbas yesterday, and the Vatican says they talked about the significance of the Catholic Church in Palestinian society, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, as well as hopes for a ceasefire and the release of all hostages. Now, they also discussed the importance of reaching a two-state solution through dialogue and diplomacy. Well, Syrians around the world are circulating images of corpses found in detention centers in the hopes they can be identified. Others are flocking to morgues to try to find bodies of the missing. Trey Inks got a look inside one of the prisons where former President Bashar al-Assad held many of his political enemies.
Families gather outside of Syria's Sednaya prison, still searching for their loved ones. Days after the fall of the Assad regime, they have more questions than answers.
My father, my nephew, my uncle, my husband, for my sister, I didn't find them.
While Syrians hope for a miracle now that rebel forces are in control of their country, Americans anxiously await information on missing journalist Austin Tice, said by the U.S. government to be alive. Today, another American who crossed into Syria on a pilgrimage 7 months ago was found alive. Travis Timmerman was reportedly discovered wandering barefoot through the streets, having been freed from jail earlier this week.
I was imprisoned in a cell by myself, and in the early morning of this Monday, or the Monday of this week, they took a hammer and they broke my door down.
American officials watching all of it closely. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in neighboring Jordan today said the White House is working to bring Timmerman home. The top U.S. diplomat calling for de-escalation and stability in the Middle East.
We want to avoid sparking any kinds of additional conflicts inside of Syria at a time when we want to see this transition to an interim government and to a better way forward for Syria.
Tonight in Damascus, fireworks could be heard exploding in the distance. Earlier in the day, louder explosions were heard. Airstrikes by the Israeli military targeting positions belonging to the former regime of Bashar al-Assad.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now about to be 5:48 on this Friday morning. And we're starting with the future track. We could have a few isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder today. I think we're not going to see that much through the daytime hours in terms of rain. It'll be overnight tonight. So after about 11 o'clock midnight, then we'll start to see a bit more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. Now, the good news is no severe weather is expected, and we're expected to remain warm enough. Maybe a chilly rain, but it'll be warm enough that anything that does fall will still be rain. By 9 a.m. tomorrow, we're starting to get on the tail end of this, and by noon, I'd say we're done with the rain. We're going to be dealing with mostly cloudy skies, gusty winds out there, and eventually we'll see gradual clearing as we go late Saturday into early Sunday. And because we'll lose some of the cloud cover, remember that acts as a blanket, and that ends up letting us get much colder as we head into our Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday, clouds will increase again, partly cloudy initially, and then we will become mostly cloudy. And then overnight Sunday into Monday, we'll have another round of shower and thunderstorm chances. Today, mid-50s, south winds gusting to 30. That continues tonight and into Saturday. 60, low 60s on Sunday. A few morning showers, maybe a rumble of thunder Monday morning. Cold front still gets here Tuesday night, so we're warm to start, much colder by the nighttime. Mid-40s Wednesday with some showers and chilly temperatures to close out the week. I'll have another look at your forecast and more of the KOAM Morning News here in just a few more minutes.
Well, a Tallahassee barbershop has become a staple in the community, operating for more than 60 years. Fred Kinney is 92 years old and has been cutting hair every day, just like he started.
If you walk into Stylish Shears Barbershop, you'll get good laughs and conversation, but you'll also get to meet Mr. Fred Kinney. He is 92 years old and still cuts hair every day.
For something to do. Keeps me busy.
Well, he's been busy for more than 60 years. He got his barber's license in 1957 and owned Stylish Shears for many years. And best of all, he gets to work with his son, Scott, who now owns the place.
He rides in with me to work, and we go home, and we work all day and just have a great relationship. I feel extremely fortunate to have that, an opportunity most people don't have.
An opportunity he doesn't take for granted.
We have fun up here all day long. It doesn't feel like work to you because it's such a relaxed environment.
Fred also owned the Tallahassee Barber College for a few years, along with another barber school in Clearwater. He's always at the shop, so I asked, what does he do when he's not cutting hair?
Cut my grass. I like to fish. I fish a little bit.
And being 92 years old, many people would have already retired, but not Fred. He says,
It's just as long as I have good health, I'm going to keep going.
Which his customers certainly appreciate.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, he amazes me that he keeps going and he keeps doing a fantastic job. This is a place that is special, and I think that the people come here recognize how special it is.
Special in more hairs than one. Scott and Fred Kinney both sharing their love for what they do together.
I've enjoyed it and I'm proud of it. Yeah.
I feel very fortunate to be able to keep going, and a lot of the customers, I've known them forever. They're like family.
We'll be right back. Well, first responders gave patients at a local children's hospital in Rochester, New York, a night to remember on Wednesday, flashing their blue and red signals for the annual Good Night Lights event. Now, posted footage shows police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances lined up outside the Golisano Children's Hospital and flashing their lights and sirens for the little patients and their families inside. The event, now in its 7th year, would go for a second round on December 18th. And Forbes magazine has rounded up the 100 most powerful women of the year. President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen topped the list, followed by Christine Lagarde, the president of the European Central Bank. Forbes based its list on money, media, impact, and spheres of influence. WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark rounded out the list, making her the youngest person on this year's list.
And we've got some pretty chilly temperatures out there this morning. I wanted to talk about those for just a moment. That warm front, remember yesterday on the future track, it had it about here. And this is what we talk about when it comes to winter weather and snow and the differences that the placement of something like this can make. It came just a smidgen further south, but that smidgen further south is keeping a few more of our northern communities much colder this morning. So we're sitting into the upper 20s and low 30s. And you get south of the front, and then we're upper 30s and low 40s. But that's what we're talking about. This front, if it's a little too far north, okay, if we were in a snow situation, we're not, but if we were, these areas wouldn't get snow, but that front comes just a little further south. Now we're getting snow in places that we wouldn't have. Now, again, we're not getting snow, but this is just a great example of what we talk about when it comes to winter weather. All it takes is a frontal boundary or a system moving just a little bit one way or the other. It can really shake things up. On top of that, we have a bit of a breeze, so it feels like it is 14 in Iola right now, 19 in Yates Center, 17 in Fort Scott. So north of the boundary, very cold wind chill. South of it, not as cold, but still a pretty chilly start to the day. Mid-40s for most of us. Now, eventually that warm front will retreat north and will get warm across the region. Cloudy skies, about 52 by 11. South winds will be gusting upwards of 30. Afternoon, we've got some isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, highs into the mid-50s. Going into the evening hours, again, a few isolated showers, and after about 11 o'clock or midnight, a few more widespread showers and thunderstorms. Down to the upper 40s, south winds still gusting to 30, still breezy tomorrow. Again, no severe weather expected, no winter weather expected. We're done by noon with the rain on Saturday. We'll get more rain chances Sunday night into Monday. Cold front gets here in the later part of Tuesday, bringing our temperatures back down. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.